This is why it's impossible to defeat this country. Are you not immersed in the news regarding the Russian and Ukrainian war? Well, as the world watches the Ukraine war escalate, a small country beside China continues to grow itself into a formidable strength to reckon with. So much so that it has concerned the United States as well. That country is none other than North Korea. Today, I will look into the reasons as to why this nation has raised alarm bells at the alliance world. North Korea is currently regarded as a difficult foe to defeat, and for likely good reasons. It has produced nuclear weapons that reaches up to as far as the United States of America. This makes taking military action against North Korea perilous, since it could set off a nuclear reaction that could result in serious harm and casualties. North Korea is not equipped with the technology and weaponry that comprises of artillery that could potentially target Seoul, the capital of South Korea. Any military innovation against North Korea may cause a considerable number of casualties and may seriously damage South Korea's infrastructure as well. Moreover, North Korea enjoys strong bilateral relationships with China, allowing it a strong, substantial financial and political backing. Hence, to even think of taking military action against North Korea might lead to war with China, which would ascertain major repercussions on the entire world. This is not the only issue that concerns the opposing party. For a successful attack against the population of the nation being attacked needs to be willing to remove the government as well. In North Korea, however, the people are ingrained with a strong feeling of nationalism, for they consider the outside world as being hostile to North Korea. Because of this, any attempt to remove the North Korean government internally is certain to encounter fierce opposition. One ought to remember that the international community has imposed economic sanctions on North Korea, thereby ascertaining its ability to trade and get foreign investment. The regime, however, has reacted to these sanctions by creating a black market economy and relying on assistance from China and other nations that have disregarded the sanctions. North Korea has been working on developing nuclear weapons for a long period and has managed successfully to conduct many nuclear tests. However, with the nation's belligerent behavior comes a serious threat to regional security. The struggles of North Korea to strengthen its missile capabilities is not a hidden thing. The country has made substantial advancements in the process. The nation has conducted tests utilizing a variety of missiles and ranges from short-range weapons to intercontinental ballistic missiles that are commonly referred to as IBCMs. Through these IBCMs, short-range missiles can be launched from various machinery including land-based launchers, submarines, or mobile vehicles. These missiles, having the range of up to 500 kilometers, can be deployed to strike its neighbors like South Korea or Japan. With the testing of medium-range missiles, including the 4,500-kilometer range Hwasong-12 and Hwasong-14, North Korea has ascertained its position in the region. They can now do what others have feared they might do so. They can reach American military installations in Japan and Guam and thus stand at a higher advantage. Moreover, since the United States has always been on the other end of the world and harder to reach, it has never considered itself in harm's way, up until now. Intercontinental ballistic. Ballistic missiles are another tech being developed by North Korea. Not only this, as stated above, a mutual defense agreed between China and North Korea, known as the Sino-North Korean Mutual Aid and Cooperation Friendship Treaty, they signed an agreement in 1961 which calls for bilateral cooperation in the military and economy. The agreement that they signed assured that if either of the nations is attacked, the other would come to its aid and offer complete support to thwart it. In the case that either nation's security is threatened, the treaty also calls for discussions between the two should the occasion arise. North Korea has conducted missile tests that sailed over Japan and the Sea of Japan. Missiles that North Korea fired in August and September 2017 landed in the Pacific Ocean, but that was not the issue. The issue was that they flew over Japan to reach the Pacific Ocean. The United Nations Security Council decided to sanction North Korea for the brash tactics as the result. North Korea has also carried out missile tests that have fallen in waters close to Japan. For example, they tested short-range ballistic missiles which landed near the water surface close to Japan. The region's nations, including Japan, strongly denounced these missile testings. Concerned over the North Korea's missile capabilities that could disturb regional tensions have worried international communities as they view countries' missile launches over or close to Japan as alarming to the peace in the region. Since joining the NPT in 1975, South Korea has actively promoted non-proliferation and disarmament. But now even there's been calls to start their own nuclear program to counter North Korea's aggression. Although there have been some discussions about the advantages of developing nuclear weapons, neither the NPT nor a nuclear weapons program have been advocated by the South Korean government. Instead, the governments have given diplomatic initiatives to a high priority in order to address regional security issues and advance non-proliferation efforts. Because it acts as a barrier between China and South Korea, where the United States has a sizable military presence, North Korea is strategically significant to China. Because North Korea acts as a barrier against potential American influence in the region, China views it as a strategic asset. Moreover, China serves as North Korea's biggest trading partner and provides considerable financial assistance to them. Whereas the international community continues to impose sanctions, North Korea has managed to stay afloat, all due to assistance China provides them. Furthermore, a refugee crisis on China's border might result from the collapse of the North Korean regime. China worries that should North Korea fall, the prospect of accepting a huge amount of refugees would be unbearable for it. This would put a massive amount of stress on its resources and cause instability within China as well. Hence, the two major reasons North Korea stands on its own is its missile technology as well as its friendship with China. Another aspect that could strengthen North Korea soon is the rise of its population, which is almost as twice as its southern counterpart. More the population, more the manpower, and hence the increase in the army personnel. The question remains as to why North Korea remains adamant on pursuing its nuclear program. This answer lies in the fact that North Korea witnessed a number of other countries that agreed to disarm it when urged by the US and were taken aback at what transpired to them and the destruction they faced afterwards. This has emboldened them to continue with their program. The international community has been trying to halt North Korea's nuclear program, but to no avail, as North Korea continues to pursue it with even more vigor. The nation has carried out numerous nuclear tests and made important strides in its missile capability. In what it claimed to be a hydrogen bomb, it conducted its sixth nuclear test. The test resulted in a sizable earthquake and sparked worries about the nation's capacity to create nuclear warheads that could be attached to ICBMs. Since then, North Korea has never hidden its capacity and openly carried out missile tests, continuously striving to improve its arsenal that can reach the United States. Its launch of the ICBM missile in 2017 showed a significant improvement in range and capability. Thus, North Korea's missile capabilities concern its neighbors significantly, as well as the international community. And why should it not? But these missiles that they have developed in the shape of ICBMs and SLBMs have raised concern about the country's ability to deliver nuclear weapons that may reach the corners of the earth. It has now become a difficult foe to defeat due to its nuclear capability, military readiness, and geopolitical considerations and capacity to adjust to economic sanctions. So, why is it so hard to defeat the country as I said earlier? You have your answer. As long as China continues to stand alongside and consider it their ally, out of commitment or need, it does not really matter. North Korea is a hard opponent to tackle with, and will brazenly continue to progress and advance its capabilities to tackle any hostile situation. There you have it, folks. This is what concerns the world the most, as they fear an all-out war should any of the Western world decide to attack the small and yet bold nation.
Thank you.